Hello everybody, it's Derek Freeze, and this is going to be a experimental video because this is a video about doing a experiment, and, well, I need to think about how I'm going to explain this first. So I recently made the video of this oscillating fan and how this had reacted to these lights over here and this Rudolph. And it's quite interesting what happened. Now, a YouTuber wrote in by the name of Pixel Snob, and he actually made a really nice essay explaining kind of what was going on and also what prompted this experiment. So, if I remember, I'll put a link to the previous video in the Describo so you can go back and watch that. As well as hopefully a link to Pixel Snob's channel, if I remember, and Bobby Bissell's channel. And the reason why I'm actually mentioning Bobby Bissell in this video is he said he's had a similar experience with using a fan like this in a touch lamp. I just so happen to have a touch lamp, and if I've used fans in this general area, a touch lamp typically sits there on the floor, and I've used fans before, and I've noticed the fan actually reacting with this touch lamp a few times. Now, one of the bulbs died, so I put a LED in there to replace it. And since I put the LED in there, I've actually not noticed it do some of its quirkiness that it used to. So I'm going to try to find a candelabra base bulb of that style to put in here quickly for this video, and we can go on with the experiment. If not, I'm just going to use the LED. But Pixel Snob mentioned that if you have a battery-powered AM radio and you tune it into a static station, or just static, you can actually hear some interference if you're switching the speed between these fans. I'm not sure if it was him or another commenter that said, because I remembered reading someone saying that high-voltage AC devices cause current volume interruptions too. So I have a box fan with an AC motor. I actually have this modern box fan with a PSC motor, which that's what this fan uses. So I'm curious if this newer fan has a different reaction than the old one. This older fan has a shaded pole motor. It draws, I think, about 4 amps. It draws a good bit of power. And then we have a dehumidifier here. I don't know the power rating of this off the top of my hands, or off the top of my head, or whatever. And this probably draws a lot of current. And then a space heater, which is going to draw a heck of a lot of current. So we're going to mess with some of these devices and see if there's any change. Now, this space heater I use in my bedroom with a circuit with a lot of other electronics on it, including radios and things. And in all my years of doing this, the only thing I've actually seen a space heater do is make light bulbs go dim, which that's typically what happens when you run a high voltage electrical piece of equipment. Now, I considered bringing a vacuum out here for doing this, but the vacuum's just going to be a bit too loud and it's a bit annoying, so I didn't even bother dealing with getting a vacuum. So, let's do some tests. I'm going to go actually and get my tripod because I forgot it for this video. That's how unprepared I am. And expect this to be a longer video because I don't know how long this is going to take. So we're going to start off with the first thing, and that's going to be this oscillating fan. And we're going to see how this oscillating fan reacts to the touch lamp. Now, I've used the fan before in the past. I've not noticed any differences. With this one, I've noticed when back when this lamp had incandescent bulbs in it, it flickered a bit when I used the orange box fan. But let's see about this one. I saw a bit of glowing from the bulbs when the fan shut off. Bit right there. this fan has a lot of torque too, so this motor definitely is probably going to draw a bit more than the others. Let's actually get this camera close to the lamp so you can see what it's doing. I want you to look at the light bulb. Now, it doesn't do it all the time. Very strange. I hopefully caught it on camera a little bit. Let's try the modern box fan. So here is the modern box fan. Let's see what happens this time. Still actually see a bit of interference with the bulbs. And just like the 16-inch fan, it's very intermittent. Let's bring the camera closer. Doesn't actually appear to be doing anything. Just a little bit. Pretty much when I switch between speeds like that. So that's what's going on with that. Let's try the bigger box fan. Well, before we do that, let's mess with this radio. So we have a portable AM radio right here.
Doing television, I went out to Fox Sports. I'm going to be on vacation. Is this?
Let's tune this into static. And this is a battery-powered radio. There's nothing hooked up to it. Ooh. So the fan's giving off some sort of radio interference up the lamp. That's weird. So the lamp gives off some sort of RF interference too. What if the lamp is on and turn this off? What happens with the lamp if we switch between speeds on the fan with the lamp on? Flashed a little bit. Turn the lamp off. Now it's doing the thing again where so it seems to be shutting the lamp off. Let's try this fan. probably not healthy for the motor to keep changing between speed windings. And now we will try the big vintage box fan with the shaded pole motor. And this one draws a lot more current than this fan right here and the other one shown before. Let's see if I can get an amp reading on the motor. It should say something. The sticker says 3 amps. So this fan here draws 3 amps. It's a lot bigger than the other ones. What does the gray one say? Doesn't give me that information. I guess I could, if I'm really up to it, I could go back out to the garage, grab kilowatt meter, and then measure how much current that fan draws in terms of amps. But let's try the big box fan. Ooh, flashed a lot more. Something weird that's making some noise. This fan hasn't ran in like a month. Ooh, it flashed a lot more than the other ones I think have done. Looks like I'm getting it on. This one just doesn't seem to do the thing for the lamp. Keep going at lengths, lamps on the board. When the fan is on high speed, it takes the buzzing away from the radio. Doesn't do it when the lamp's on medium speed. I don't think I remember doing that before. Very strange. Now let's do the high current appliances. For this, I can't use the extension cord because these things draw a bit too much current for the extension cord, and I don't want to break this extension cord because it's a nice extension cord. So the experiment continues on over here. Now we're going to be messing with this space heater first. I got the space heater plugged in, the lamp's plugged in. Bring the portable radio over here eventually. Now, with the dehumidifier, we can't short cycle it, but we can short cycle the heater since it's just a resistive heater. Even when turning the fan on and off, I see a bit of spark action. Nothing really between Surprisingly, I'm not seeing anything when I turn the element on and off. It's on the low heat setting, it's on the high heat setting now. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything happen. Well, the heater's kind of a bust. Well, I didn't try the radio. Said I was going to wait to try the radio, but try it now. Makes pops. It's kind of hard to hear when going between speeds because the switch on this is kind of big and clunky. Now, I'll simultaneously, with the lamp and the other thing, see if the dehumidifier does anything. So just by plugging in the dehumidifier, it turns the lamp on. Turning the dehumidifier on, flashes the lamp. Dehumidifier is running. If we turn off the dehumidifier, we don't get anything from the dehumidifier turning off. Very strange. So, apparently this video isn't done yet. Still have more tests. So now we have the reindeer plugged in. Let's see what happens this time. So it activates it when it turns on. And we're going to actually wait for the reindeer to cycle off. So now, let's turn off the dehumidifier. Nothing happens when I turn off the dehumidifier. That's very strange, because I always remembered it would go off whenever the mini fridge would turn off. Maybe it was when the mini fridge turned on. I'm not sure. I'll have to see how that works. Let's try a different appliance. I'm also curious, actually, if there's any interference between the radio and the root off. It appears that none of them have any interference with each other. Let's try the heater this time. We'll work our ways backwards. Somehow the heater doesn't react as much as I think it would. Because out of all this stuff, this thing draws the most current. At around 12 amps. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Let's see, what is our amp rating on this heater? 12.5 amps. So, this thing isn't somehow doing enough to activate this item. I don't know what that's about. Let's move back over to the fans and mess with those again. Oh, we're still messing with this darn experiment. Now we're messing with the fans again. hopefully we'll be done soon. We've been wasting about 20 minutes of our time towards science to figure out what stuff interferes with what. So let's do the cheap modern box fan first and see if this has any reaction. It appears that the fan isn't working. I had to plug it in first. So I was switching it from high to medium. Try from high to off. High to off does it as well. High speed. And this is proof. I'm not touching it. There's no one here to touch it. So, very weird. And I have a feeling, as we saw yesterday night, it did activate the 16-inch oscillating fan. Now, with the 16-inch oscillating fan, being that it was kind of farther down on that circuit, it didn't actually activate it the same way that it did here. Like, it didn't do it instantly. Like, I had to try to get that thing to activate. I had to try to get the fan to activate this root off, and I wasn't even expecting it to activate. So, let's try this fan here. This is the same fan from yesterday night, so that's weird. I don't know why it went off like that. That's strange. Oh, here we go. I was kind of expecting it to do that. Now, it seems to be extra sensitive with the fans. It wasn't sensitive at all with the light, not the light fixture. It wasn't sensitive at all with the heater. But whenever it detects any sort of interference, I'm not sure if the interference for this thing, if it is an interference with the fan, or I don't know. So let's figure this out. I'm gonna actually take this, take the base off this root off and see if there's anything there. But that's all you have to do to activate it. Unplug this, and might be screws. Yes, there's screws underneath these little feet. I'll move this over here because the HVAC just kicked on. These might not go back on with these, so I might have to dab some hot glue on here. This one ran away. Let's see if we can figure out why this thing activates. The screwdriver is too big. Let's try another one. There goes the bit. Here's more screws. It'd be a job for the bigger screwdriver. I don't even on the camera, but there's just more screws under here. Oh, we got some electronics in here. We have the little potentiometer, which should probably be cleaned. And that's about it. I'm guessing the main PCB is up in here somewhere. The AC/DC adapters on this side. Volume controls on this side. I don't see anything up there how it would sense. Now I'm going to guess what it is a sound sensor, kind of like what a kind of like a piezo disc that's used as a sound sensor. Actually, let me show you because I have an example of that over here in a different item. So this is a singing Christmas tree, and here in the back side there's a piezo disc here, and this is used as a form of a sound sensor when activated. Now I'm going to try something. Now this might not work because this tree is not plugged in, so it's if this gives off radio interference, or maybe if the clicks on the button of the fan just happen to be loud. I'm not sure if that's just because of how loud the snap was from the buttons or if it gave off interference. I'm guessing it has to do with the noise. And if I touch the base, his stump, it won't activate. Let me see what happens if I clap. We'll be back shortly. So this tree could also call for a 6-volt AC/DC adapter. Now, I have some around here that actually would have came with these trees originally, like when they were new, but those are all being used right now because it's Christmas season. So I got this right here. It's a 6-volt 2-amp adapter. And I bought this on Amazon. I can't remember, I think it was 4 years ago for a dancing snowman. I didn't mean to drop the adapter, but this adapter has actually outlasted the snowman, which is kind of funny. But we're going to try the same thing again. Let's unplug this thing, so there's no other interference. And then we're going to remove the batteries, or at least a battery from this tree, because they all run in series. Got to remove the stupid dad screw. And we will remove the batteries. Now we'll just remove the singular one. Now if I turn this on, I won't do anything until I plug this in. What was that? That was weird. I thought I heard like a pop noise. There's no radios or anything that could be doing that. Stand behind it to avoid activating the light sensor on his nose. Now we'll activate the fan. Be sure to bunch that spring back to don't get any. Is this thing even on? What's going on here? Did I plug in the wrong adapter? It appears I've plugged in the wrong adapter. What a freak show. Okay, that won't stay on the table then. So, it doesn't like fans either. Still have the dehumidifier over here. So let's try the dehumidifier. Now, you won't be able to see the tree activate, but there's no one else in the room besides cats. Well, cats would probably do it, but it's on the table. Will the dehumidifier do anything? It's plugged into an extension cord. You'll hear the tree go off because it's loud and obnoxious. That was not the dehumidifier, that was the mini fridge. And it does it when it turns off. Let's try this. This is a different dancing tree I have. This one does not have a sound sensor. It only has a light sensor, which is right here. Plug this in and turn it on. So, did not react to the dehumidifier being activated, and also it won't react to noise. Therefore, it probably also won't react if I turn this dehumidifier off. But it would react if I cover up the light sensor. I think that puts an end to this experiment. I think we've messed with enough things. I was about to say what would happen if I messed with the FM radio or an AM radio that's plugged in. I might leave that to next time. I might film it, and if there's no results, I won't upload it, or I'll leave something in a Describo. So thank you very much for watching, and keep the breeze.